Diane Hunt Studio, and it's a Mix It Up Monday, where I take a paint chip from the paint store and try to mix that color on my palette. So I'll switch over here to my palette so you can see better what's going on. I'll lower it down some so you can see. Oops, sorry. You feel a little dizzy. You can see better. All right, so this color I have for today is called Picante. It's kind of a rusty red looking color. And on the value scale, it's in the mid-range, I would say. So let's see if we can get that mixed up. So on my palette here, I have a Terra Rosa, which is very close to this color. See that or not? Let's see. It's the one right up here in this top corner. I'm going to bring a little bit of that down and see how close it is. It looks pretty close, actually, so it's not going to have to mix much to get it to that color. That's pretty much the same color. Okay, so that's kind of like it's kind of like a brick red. You can see that. But if I didn't have that color on my palette and I need to mix it, I would take some of my alizarin crimson, and I'd need to mute it. This is a bluer color than the alizarin is, so I would probably want to add a little bit of a blue. I'll take some ultramarine and mix it into that. It's going to darken it quite a bit. That's giving me more of a dark purple. So I need to bring it back to the yellow side a little bit. So I'm going to get some of the cad lemon, cad yellow, and add that in. And as you can see, it's getting closer, but it's dark. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to that. I don't want to add too much at one time. And you can see it's more reds and it needs to be more orange. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this yellow into it. That's getting it closer. Still dark, but put some more of that yellow in. And I've gotten a little too yellow. But the value is getting closer. So I'll bring a little red back into it, make it a little more orange again. And compare it to the sample. It's still darker, but it's closer in value than it was. So let's add a little bit of white in there and get it lighter again. Now it's getting very close. The sample's a little bit redder, so I'm going to add some red back in. Now it's very close to that color. The sample is still a little bit more orange. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. See if I can get that looking a little more orange. And if you compare it to this other one that's here, you can see how much more orange that sample is. And that one is closer to the card. So I do want to get more orange into it. So add a little bit more red, a little bit more yellow. Bring that orange back up a little bit. That's getting very close now. Still got a little bit more red in the card than I have in this mixture, so add a tiny bit more red back in. And it's getting closer and closer to this color. This other one that I have mixed here. The other one that's the Terra Rosa. So now it's very close. And that would be close enough for me. So it was a little bit of ultramarine blue, cadmium yellow, titanium white, and alizarin crimson. Now this color here is the Terra Rosa, and that was pretty close, but it was a little bit darker than the paint chip. So let's see if I can get that one a little bit closer. Touch of white. Sometimes it doesn't take much to change the color, you know, just enough to make it work. So these colors here are pretty much identical now, and they both match the card. So you can do it a couple different ways. This was Terra Rosa and a little bit of white, and this mixture was the alizarin crimson, the cadmium yellow, the titanium white, and a little bit of ultramarine blue. So it gave you a couple different ways to get there. But either one would work. The important thing is to try to get the scale, the grayscale of it right. And then it would work in the painting. And it would depend too on how the colors around it were doing. But give it a try and see how you do. I also have this thing that I've made up. It's 5 items needed to get started oil painting. So if you're new to oil painting and you want some a list of things that you would need, and I give you the basics. I like to keep things simple, so I don't like to add a whole bunch of unnecessary things into your onto your list to make it so that you have a bunch of stuff to buy when you go to the art supply stores. I like to keep it pretty easy and simple. And I have a link on there also of supplies and places where you can get them. So if you're new to painting, or if you've been painting a while and you would just like to simplify things and see what I have to say about that, you can go to my into the links, and there's a link there for my guide. So check it out, and I will see you next time.